Hello, welcome once again to Pale Blooms and Beyond. Thank you for joining us today. If you do like the programming you see here and the musicians and artists I visit with, please be sure and hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Laurence Garman is an English harmonica player who has been steeped in the blues since adolescence. In 1969, he helped form the blues band Key Largo. Originally called Slamhammer, their moniker was changed to Key Largo after Howlin Wolf's club in Chicago. The unit would release one album in 1970 on Blue Horizon. In 2008, Blue Horizon released all of the recordings of the band as the complete Blue Horizon sessions. During the 70s, Laurence would work on various Blue Horizon productions and play with artists like the Count Bishops, Gerry Rafferty, Bob Marley, and the Yardbirds. His harmonica can also be heard on work by Freddie King, Lightnin Slim and Bloodstone. From 1978 to 2003, Laurence enjoyed a career in business publishing. And today my guest is still very active musically, playing in a couple of bands. Well, welcome, Laurence.
Thank you. Nice to talk to
you. Well, thanks for taking time out to visit. Take us back to the beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in London in 1950.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I lived in like a kind of middle class suburb. Nothing too exciting going on.
Okay. Did you happen to play in any of the bombed out buildings after World War II when you were a kid?
No, I saw the bombed out buildings. The bombed out buildings were more towards East London and the dock area.
Okay.
I don't think they bombed Hendon where I live, but I do remember seeing the bomb sites. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've had a couple of interviews where they talked about playing in those.
Yeah.
Well, do you recall early childhood growing up? Was there music in the house?
No one was interested in music, but I got interested in it early. I can remember 1958 when I was 8. I can remember hearing one particular record on the radio, which was Elvis Presley, King Creole, which was his movie and his single at the time, and that kind of hit me. I thought, oh, I hope I hear that record again. I hope it comes on the radio again. So that was like a little moment where I thought there was something in the music that fascinated me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what was the first musical instrument you learned to play?
I just played the harmonica.
Okay.
Really, what happened was when I was about 14, there were lots of records out with harmonica and it was fashionable. There was a kind of a R&B boom on the back of the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
So there were lots of records with harmonica on, and the kids at school were sort of forming bands to play. And so I thought, if I get into the harmonica, I can play with them, and I did, play with them.
That was your inroad there, the harmonica.
Yeah, that was the inroad. Yeah.
Well, can you remember one of the first singles or albums that you got?
Yeah. I got a record player when I was 12. I've still got it here. It doesn't work anymore, but I've got it as a kind of artifact. And the first record I bought in about 1962 was Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley. But that was already 4 years out of date, that record. But I was more interested in the older stuff. So that was the first record I bought. And the first blues record I bought was Smokestack Lightning, which was by Howlin Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the first of many blues records.
Right. You were really into Howlin Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you like that Chicago blues?
Yeah, the Chicago blues I like. Howlin Wolf and Muddy Waters, Sonny Boy Williamson, all of those guys. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, how about, can you recall one of the first concerts or live shows that you attended that you went to?
Yeah, I can actually. One of the first that I recall going to was Spencer Davis Group.
Oh,
Um,
Did you?
with
Okay.
Steve Winwood, and that was must have been 65 or 66, and they were at the Marquee Club in London, and I was kind of going up to the West End, the centre of town, to try and see what was going on, and I ended up there and I saw them. They were very good, very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I talked to Pete York.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
He was the drummer, right?
yeah. Yeah.
That's right. He was the drummer. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was
I
one of those.
distinctly remember them. I can remember that the first song that they did, they opened up with, was a song called Ramblin' Rose,
Yeah.
recorded by Ted Taylor. The
Yeah.
MC5 also did it. I remember that was their opening number.
Yes.
Spencer
Yes.
Davis, yeah.
Did you ever hear later on MC5's version of Ramblin' Rose?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen them do it on video,
Yeah.
and the guy who sings it, he died fairly recently. You'll know his name.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
know his name, but it's on the tip of my tongue.
I know. I can look that up real quick too. I got that.
Was it
The, the
Wayne
end.
Kramer?
Yes, Wayne Kramer. Wayne Kramer. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
there
Yes.
you are.
That's right. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's fascinating, to hear some of those early concerts and early
Yeah.
shows. Well, talk about some other, you mentioned some of the blues bands, other influences for you.
Well, I listened to lots of blues records, and I went to see Blues People when they were in town, and there was, there were kind of there were bands like John Mayall and his Blues Breakers, who you probably heard of.
Ah, yes, yes,
I
yes.
saw them a couple of times. They
Yeah.
had Peter Green on guitar.
Yeah. Oh, one
Uh,
of my favorites, all-time favorites.
yeah, I
Yeah.
played with him in the studio in later years, actually.
Uh-huh.
Um, Peter Green, at a time when he wasn't doing very well, I must say.
Yeah.
Um, and there were bands like Cream, who I saw a couple of times.
Yep.
Um,
And the connection there, Mike Vernon with John and Peter Green, that
yeah, that's right.
he would sign the band. He would sign
Yeah, he did. He did. In
yeah.
fact, I played on some sessions for Mike, and also he played on the two solo albums he did in the early 70s.
Yeah.
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 Um, and I saw Jimi Hendrix sitting in with Cream on one gig,
Oh,
which was
did
a,
you?
a, 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 a gig that people often talk about.
Oh, that's special. That is, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Yeah, with Peter Green. Yeah, I love that early Fleetwood Mac. Oh man.
Yeah, yeah. I saw Fleetwood Mac as well, in their sort of blues days, before they went into sort of mainstream rock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate. A lot of the younger people today, they only know Buckingham Nicks. They only know
yeah.
that era. They don't know the early stuff. They're really missing out.
No.
Yeah.
But it's there if people want to find it.
Yeah.
It's on the records and it's on the net, and
Yeah.
there's video, so it's there
Yeah.
if you want to look for it.
Yeah. What was your first band, the Junk Shop Blues Band?
Yeah, that was at school. I can't remember if we actually did any gigs. Yeah, we did. We did a couple of gigs. So yeah, that was at school. I can remember doing a gig with that band. Now I come to think of it, and then going off to another event, which is quite well known. It's well known over here. It's called the 14-hour Technicolor Dream, which was like at Alexandra Palace, which was like a huge sort of flower power uh, takes over kind of thing, with all these bands like Pink Floyd and
I was
numerous
going to say
others.
Pink Floyd. Yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah,
going to.
yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah.
had to play that. They had to.
Yeah, they did. They did play there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's evocative of so much imagery, like you said, from that time period. Wow.
Yeah, there's film of that event, the Technicolor Dream. There was documentary made on it. It's quite a lot of footage. You can see it on YouTube.
Oh, I will look that up. I know
Yeah,
that
I
right.
remember seeing John Lennon walking around in his sort of Afghan coat, and yeah, it was all going on.
I'll definitely check that out. Well,
Yeah,
we'll talk about how meeting Alexis Corner helped your career.
well, I was just hanging out at places, with my harmonica, and I would play if there was an opportunity. If someone, I didn't ask if I could play, but if people knew me, they would ask me to play. So I met Alexis through another harmonica player called Paul Rowan, who's now deceased,
Yeah.
and he was playing from time to time uh, with Alexis, and I played with Alexis at two places. One was called the Half Moon in Putney, which is still going as a music venue, and the other one was called Les Cousins, or the Cousins, as it was called. That was a folk club in Soho. But that's long since gone. But those were the two places where I hung out and played with Alexis. And we went down to after that we went to after the gig we went down to a club in Covent Garden called Middle Earth, which was another early
Middle
booking
Earth.
venture.
Yeah.
And I think we saw Steve Marriott there with
Yeah.
his yeah.
Now Pink Floyd played there as well, Middle Earth, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, how did Key Largo, or should I say Slamhammer, form?
Well, I've met a guitar player called Laurie Sanford, or Lol Sanford as he likes to be known. And we met some other people through classified advertisements, guitarist seat, that's how you did it in those days. You would put a little tiny ad, classified ad in the Melody Maker with your phone
Melody
number,
Maker. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, and the people would phone you up, and then you go and meet them at some pub or other and drink a bit, and then you book a rehearsal run and see what you could put together.
Yeah.
That was the way it was done. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So many of these interviews, that's how guys got gigs and jobs through Melody Maker, the ads in the
yeah,
back.
that's right.
Yeah.
It was an essential service that
Yeah.
they were doing. Yeah.
I wish somebody would do a total, and go back and see how many, actually got jobs doing that and see, because it's got to be in the
Loads,
hundreds and hundreds.
loads. Yeah,
Yeah.
innumerable people would have got hooked up through those ads. Yeah,
Melody Maker. Wow. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
what were some of the early live shows like? Did you support any big bands with Slamhammer?
I went to loads and loads of gigs.
Yeah.
Um, I went to an early gig by 10 years after.
Oh,
You know them, and I recall that
yeah.
that time, this was at the Marquee Club.
Yeah.
They were called the Blues Yard, and I
Oh,
googled that, but there was no reference to them being called the Blues Yard. But that's what they were at that particular early juncture.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, I
Al-
liked another band
Alvin
I
Lee.
liked.
Alvin Lee. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. You know who I get mixed up? I didn't want to interrupt you, but I get Albert Lee and Alvin Lee mixed up. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, they're both guitar players, and Albert Lee's still playing, still going strong. I think he's quite
Yeah.
elderly,
Yeah.
and I think Alvin Lee passed away.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
But go ahead, continue. Go ahead, what you were saying.
yeah. And well, another band that I liked a lot was the Paul Butterfield Blues Band.
Yeah.
They were from Chicago. They started in Chicago, and they came over here towards the end of uh, 66. And I saw a couple of dates of theirs, which was very inspirational.
Yeah.
And I used to go and see anyone. I used to go and see the Muddy Waters band, and I went to what they called the folk blues festivals, where there were package tours of blues
Package.
artists.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Well, what?
sat in one night with the Muddy Waters band. He wasn't singing at that moment, but I did get to play with his band at a gig.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was interesting. If you hang out and you know, uh, people know you to some extent, and you get opportunities to play.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Well,
mean, I wasn't very good in those days, but you just
those
get involved. No, you get better with the passage of time.
right. Well, those package tours you talked about, and they were cheap. They were, they didn't cost an arm and a leg,
No,
to
I
go
don't
to.
think so. They were called the American Folk Blues Festivals. The first one was in 1962. But the
Yeah.
first one I went to was in 1967, and they were at large venues. They were like a big cinemas or in concert halls, which was not really the right environment for blues. You know, blues was not really a sit down, politely clapped concert
Yeah. It's not.
type of music. So there was a kind of mismatch there, but it was a great chance, opportunity to see the people.
Yeah. Well, how about with Slamhammer? Did you guys play any gigs, live shows?
Yeah, played loads of gigs um, in, in pubs, and you know, we used to do little gigs around the country, Manchester and Bristol. I can recall doing, and that was the band that was renamed Key Largo.
Yeah.
It was Mike Vernon that wanted to rename it.
Yeah.
Um, so we went along with that, and we did get the album that you referred to out. We also got out a
Yeah.
single in
Right.
1970.
Right. To try to try to avoid confusion with Steamhammer, I think too.
I
Yeah.
think that could have been
Yeah.
could have been a lot to do with it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was probably sensible to
Yeah.
change the name.
Yeah. But
I'm still
again,
in touch vaguely with the bass player
oh, okay.
from that band. Like through Facebook, we kind of occasionally acknowledge each other. But the album was recorded in 1970. And also the guitarist, the same guy that I mentioned, Lowell Sanford.
Yes.
I still see him occasionally. So,
Okay.
you know, that's cool people that you played with over, what is it, 55, 56 years ago.
Yeah, so many years ago. Well, I don't know if you'll remember this. Do you remember the recording sessions for the album?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Oh,
I
you
do. I
do.
remember them very clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, they were at the CBS studios in Dering Street, which is off Bond Street in London. And in fact, there is some footage of that studio with the Mike Vernon session going on. It wasn't our session; it was someone else's, but it was on a documentary, and I saw it crop up on YouTube. And it took me back to it was the same engineer as well. And I tried to find it since, but I can't find it. But it exists.
Oh no, you can't find it now.
No, no.
Well,
But
maybe June. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, I remember the sessions here very
Yeah.
clearly.
Okay. They went pretty well. Pretty well.
They
Okay.
went pretty well. Mike Vernon was like the main player in it. He was the producer, but he also uh, picked all the material and did the arrangements and everything. He was like the driving force. You know, the album's got his imprint on it, but it was obviously a great learning experience.
Yeah.
And you know, getting to play in a proper recording studio
Right.
is a big deal when you're you know,
When you're young, like
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Was it a bit intimidating? Was that your first time in a studio?
No, no, I played in like demo studios, like rough and ready studios, but I haven't played in a full-on professional studio until I did that. But you know, the producer's job is to make the musicians feel at ease and get the best out of them.
Yeah.
So it didn't score highly on the intimidation scale. You know, you
Yeah.
soon got into it.
Yeah. Yeah. But once you got into it, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
You kind of got relaxed a little bit. Wow.
Mm.
Well, you remember the album after it was released, how it was received by the public and critics?
Yeah, it done pretty much without praise. So I've got a copy of it, and I've got the CD re-release. It had a pretty terrible front cover, and there was no promotional drive behind it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It didn't lead to anything else, but it was a great thing to have done at the time.
Yeah, yeah. It is what it is, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's of its time. Well,
yeah.
we'll talk about your time with the Michigan Flyers.
Well, the Michigan Flyers was an interesting band, and that was done with the keyboard player from Key Largo. We formed another band, and we wanted to do things which were a bit more arranged, do some soul material, and kind of not do pure blues, but just generally um, uh, change it up a gear. And it was a band that we got one single out on Blue Horizon. It was under the title Michigan Rag rather than Michigan Flies. Don't ask me why. And the Michigan Flies was busy. It was a busy band because we had a booking agent and they booked us onto sort of air bases and uh, disco clubs and all sorts. So we were playing, you know, several nights a week, every week.
Yeah.
The music was deeply unfashionable at the time. What we were doing, yeah, it was uh, the music that was hit was like disco
Yeah.
and Barry White and Keith or whoever. Um, but we plowed on with the music we wanted to play, and it was called. There's a whole gig recorded of that band, which I think sounds pretty good. I haven't actually got a copy of it, but someone did play it to me, and it sounded pretty good.
Oh,
For the day.
yeah.
So, so that was quite fun as well.
Okay. Well, who was in that band? Are any of those guys still
And
around?
when we was in that band, who you would know? Um, well, the bass player was a guy called Bill Hayne. The drummer was Ian Murray. The singer was Andy Nicholson. Um, and the guitarist was called Dave West. And like he's still around. He's in Canada. And I think he's on Facebook under the name of Dave Raven. So I think he's still alive and kicking. Um, we had two singers actually. Andy Nicholson left to get married. Then we had another um, singer called Les Walker. Um, uh, and Les Walker was uh, had been in a band called Warm Dust, I remember, who had an album out. And he was also hooked into the people with a band called Ace, who did How Long,
How
famously.
long? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that one, that
Paul,
one, that one. So he
uh,
was kind of in that crowd.
Paul
Uh,
Carrick.
yeah,
Paul Carrick.
yeah, he does come out. He was in that. He was in that circle. He died, Les. I heard. I think both of the singers died. Andy Nicholson, the first singer of the Michigan Flyers, and Les Walker, who succeeded him. They both died, sadly.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not really in touch with anyone else from the Michigan
Well,
Flyers. But it was a band I had a lot of fun with and
yeah.
did a lot of gigs.
Yeah. Well, Ace started out in that pub rock scene, and
Yeah, yeah,
so
that's right.
yeah, Count Bishops also were part
Yeah,
of that.
they were playing at the Kensington. That's the name of the pub. The
Yeah.
Kensington was a kind of pub rock
Yeah.
venue with many bands on. Dr. Feelgood played there.
Oh yeah.
Um,
One of my
and
favorite.
yeah, and that's why I first bumped into the Count Bishops.
Yeah. 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 Do you remember? It was a little bit later. Remember Fabulous Poodles?
I remember the name, but I never saw
Okay.
them.
Okay. I talked to one of the guys from that band not long ago too, as well. They were on the
Yeah,
tail end of that pub rock
yeah,
scene.
that would be the case.
Yeah.
But you drill down deep to find people to talk to.
Yeah, I do. I
You
do.
didn't go for the obvious choices.
I like to dig a little deeper. I do. I like
Yeah.
to. Yeah, yeah. And I'm
Well, good
surprised.
on you, because
Right. Shine a
it's
little.
okay.
Yeah, shine a little light on you guys. Um,
Yeah.
I don't mind talking to the bigger artists and things like that too, but most of those don't respond. Most of those guys
Mm,
don't. Or
sure.
you have to talk to their agent or whatever. But
Yeah.
well, you did harmonica overdub on a session with Bob Marley, right?
Yeah. That's right. Well, I just got a phone call to go. I'd never heard of Bob Marley at the time, but I got a phone call to go up to the Island Studios, and I went up there, and yeah, there was Bob Marley and the Wailers, and they just wanted a bit of harmonica on this track. It's not very exciting to hear. I'm just sort of playing along with it. But they wanted me to do another song, which had a bigger harmonica part, but we couldn't do it because the tape they recorded in Jamaica wasn't compatible with the playback machine they had in the island studios over here, so we were able to do
Oh,
that. Yeah.
oh, is that right?
It has got harmonic on it, was done by someone else. It's called Roadblocker or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can tell you that Bob Marley and they're all enjoying themselves in the studio, and I think they would have needed to open the windows after the session was finished.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know where you're coming from. Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Oh, that's funny. Well, you would play on a couple of Lightnin Slim albums, yeah.
I think yeah, two. We did one in the studio and we did one live, and they're both still around those albums. In fact, I didn't know that the live one was ever going to come out. I mean, but it had been unreleased for about 20 years or more. And I was lying in bed on Saturday morning listening to some R&B show on the radio, and this thing came on. I thought that sounds familiar. And I thought, bloody hell, it's me
It's you.
with that, and it had been released. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So yeah,
that's
we did two albums, and yeah,
how
it was
did you
pretty.
first meet Lightnin Slim? How did that come?
Because Mike Burnham was going to produce his album over here.
Oh,
It was called London Gumbo, and uh, Mike kind of segued me into being the harmonica player on the sessions, and Lightning Slim, liked what I did, so he said he wanted me on the live dates, so I ended up doing the live dates.
oh, all right. That must have been
Yeah,
fun. That must have been enjoyable.
it was great. It was great.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Some good times there for sure. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
this is interesting too. The U.S. R&B band Bloodstone had relocated to the U.K. and
yeah,
you played on their '73 album Unreal.
yeah. I played on a song, and it's called "Let Me Ride."
Mhm.
And so I went up to Chippy Norton Studios and did that. And when it came out, the album was reviewed in Billboard magazine, and they gave me a nice little comment on the harmonica, so that was good.
Oh,
And another anecdote about that record is that the band performed it, mimed to it, on Soul Train.
did they?
Uh,
Okay.
and so my claim was there, but one of the bands was miming
The harmonica.
when you could hear. So I can say that I was kind of on Soul Train.
You're kind of on there.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I like their track Natural High, which was the album
yeah, that was the
before.
album it was on. So,
But
yeah,
yeah. The lip syncing, I've seen some really bad, god awful lip syncs,
mm,
on YouTube, but most of them were spot on. I mean, they look like
yeah,
they're actually doing it live, but there's some bad ones.
yeah. I think this is an early one. I don't think they quite perfected the art. You can look at yourself and see what you think.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll talk about playing with Freddie King. Yeah.
Well, Freddie King, I just did. We were planning to do two songs, but because of time or something, we only did one. Um, Freddie King was a big, imposing guy, and he was he liked me, so which was just as well because he wasn't in the best of humour, and he was being a bit acerbic uh, to what was going on, and he was unhappy with certain things. He was particularly unhappy with the headphones he'd been given to hear his vocal on, and certain things about the performance he wasn't happy with. But yeah, I think the albums did pretty well for him because he had a kind of career renaissance, and I think it was on Shelter Records um, in the States. But I'm not sure what label we recorded these sessions for. I don't think it was Blue Horizon. I really can't remember. Um, but yeah, it all went fine, and everyone had to navigate around Freddie and make sure that he was in a good mood, and he just got on with it.
So he could be in he could be moody, huh? Yeah, it's
He was just perhaps moody about certain things in the studio, but
uh,
you know,
yeah. Well,
that's right.
yeah, he's from Texas. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They call him the Texas Cannonball. He went to Chicago. He moved to Chicago, I
then
believe.
he moved up there, yeah. Like so
Yeah,
many bluesmen, relocated
yeah,
to Chicago, yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
and died young too. Yeah, died
He
in,
died young. Yeah, he died in the 70s
yeah,
of a
yeah.
heart attack, I think.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He's one of those. Wow. Well, those are some interesting, yeah, some nice memories there. Well, now I got to hear about Gerry Rafferty. How'd you come into his orbit? One of my favorite singer-songwriters. I loved his solo stuff, but also with Steeler's Wheel and
yeah,
the Humble Bums with Billy Connolly, even before that.
yeah, indeed. I've got a greatest hits album of his, a CD, which I think is great.
Yeah.
Now I just got a phone call to go up to the studio. I got again with Chipping Norton, which was owned by Mike Vernon and his brother. And I went up there, and the track was already down. And there were two people in the control room. Hugh Murphy was the producer, and Gerry Rafferty, the two of them. And they're both deceased now. Hugh died young, and so did Gerry Rafferty. I went in and I just did the overdub on this record. Well, it came out okay. I'm quite happy to listen to it even now. I will say Gerry Rafferty never spoke to me. Hugh Murphy was like communicator, but Gerry Rafferty was like I think he was notoriously moody,
Yeah.
or so I
Yeah.
heard.
Yes.
So I didn't really have any conversation with him. I think I just did it, and he would kind of nod to Hugh Murphy to say, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
There's,
okay." So I
yeah.
did it, and I went home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a nice documentary. I think it's on YouTube about
yeah,
Gerry Rafferty, and it does refer to that his being moody uh,
yeah,
and bouts with that, and even maybe some mental illness, and that as well.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
yeah,
the guy drank himself to death.
yeah,
There's got to be something on going
yes,
on. Yeah,
yes, exactly. But yeah, I just love all of his work, and it's interesting that when he did his solo material, like Baker Street and that,
yeah.
he didn't tour. He didn't tour. It
No, well, that was the whole big thing.
Yeah,
I think it's mentioned in the documentaries
yeah,
that uh, the record company were upset with him because they wanted him to tour America and promote his album, and he just refused to do
yeah,
it.
right, right. But one of those rare cases where it's sold like hotcakes over here without touring. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
he was hugely popular over
yeah,
here.
yeah. Mega Records, no doubt about it.
Exactly. I remember when I first heard that, I didn't know about that he was in Steeler's Wheel. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
when I heard Baker Street, I thought, oh, that's a U.S. artist. It doesn't sound, I mean, like a Scottish or UK musician.
No,
No, but anyway,
yeah,
yeah. Well, his work lives on. Uh,
yeah.
now now talk about your work with the Count Bishops. Yeah.
Well, the Count Bishop was just like in a temporary kind of role while they were going through uh, this transition period. They parted company with their singer, and who had played a bit of harmonica on a number of their songs. And they're waiting for Dave Tice, your pal of mine, to come
Yeah.
over from Australia. So
Yeah.
they just asked me to, go and play harp with them during the transition period, which I did. And I remember playing the Marquee Club with them at a the colleges we did. We went to France, went to Brittany, and did some festival over there. And the guitar player was John Crippen, um, and who played it under the name of Johnny Guitar.
Yes.
And he became at one point the guitarist for Dr. Feelgood over
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think he's still doing well.
I was trying to think who is Johnny. Yeah, Johnny Crippen. Yeah, yeah, exactly. The
Yeah,
I got that here. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, he was in Buffalo. Was the band he was in also?
That
Dave.
was his band in Australia. Yeah, they
Yeah,
were a big band in Australia, I believe.
yeah, yeah. And the Count Bishops. Yeah, that was a nice interview with him. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are still in touch,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
contact. Yeah. Well. Taught the inmates. No, no. Let's go back a little bit. How did you get into business publishing?
Well, I was like, I was bumming around doing a bit of music, and that doesn't really pay the bills. So I got a job in a publishing company, um, and like I was on the sales side, selling the advertising, and I met some good people, and one of them started a company, and he said, "Come and join me in the new company." So I did that, and I did the music and the publishing in tandem, and it was great. I enjoyed it. I mean, I kind of burned the candle, like doing gigs at night and then going to work in the morning. But uh, I was able to do it up to a point. Yeah,
Back when you were younger, yeah, you could do
I
that.
was
Yeah.
younger then, and I retired in from business in 2003.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was accurate. It said from 78 to 2003. You
That's
worked.
right. I think I must have supplied that information back
Yeah.
at
Okay.
whatever source you're using. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get them to correct and the W, take the W out and put the U
Yeah, yeah. No, we could. It's all right. Don't
in.
need it to be perfect.
Right, right. Because when I first did the search LAU, I was like, nothing came up, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and,
Well,
and
if you search Laurie, Laurie, that gives you the maximum results.
oh, see, I didn't know that. See, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. See, that's the difference between the UK and the US. Laurie here is a female,
That's right. I know.
right. Oh, you
They're
know.
called they tend to be Larry, the Lawrences. Yeah,
Right, right, right. And
right.
who was one of the composers that I really like, Laurie Johnson,
Yeah,
has done a lot of easy listening. And
yeah,
when I first found out, oh, that's a guy. Wow, that's I thought that was strange.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the Inmates were a late '70s pub rock band in the style of Dr. Feelgood. Yeah. How did you come to play on First Offense, the '79 album?
Well, I know the singer, Bill Hurley, since 1971, and I was doing a residency at a pub in called the Edinburgh. We had a band doing a Saturday night residency there, and he used to come along and sit in. Uh, so when he got with the inmates a bit later on, he asked me to come along and play a bit with them, which I did. They weren't really in the style of Dr. Feelgood. There were commonalities with Dr. Feelgood,
Yeah.
um, but they had two guitars, and uh, Bill was a very accomplished singer. He had a great range, and he had a baritone, he had a chest voice, and he had an upper voice. And their guitarist was writing some pretty good songs. And they got a deal with WEA Warner's, if I recall correctly. And yeah, they got taken to the States to promote the album. Things were going well for them. Um, I think Bill the singer, he became unwell and he wasn't really able to, maintain the momentum. But that's how I got to play on that. I actually recorded two songs on that session, but uh, only one of them was on the album. That was a song called Genie Genie Genie,
Oh, yeah.
and that's on YouTube as well. You can check it out. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, I'll definitely do that too. I'm gonna be doing a
yeah.
lot. I'm gonna be doing a lot of viewing on YouTube after this.
Yeah.
uh, well, so that was enjoyable working with the inmates.
Yeah, it was great. They were like an up and coming band, it's all happening.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Well, and you were a member of the band The Cobras
yeah,
from
the Cobras. Yeah, now the
North.
Cobras, the band I was in with Dave Tice,
Yeah.
and that was early '80s,
Yes. Yeah.
and that was Jippy Mail on guitar, who was the guy who succeeded Wilco Johnson in
Dr.
Dr.
Field.
Feelgood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was after that, after he'd been in Dr. Feelgood. And as I said, there's a Cobra CD with Dave and me and Jippy. I think it's got 12 songs on it, but it's very limited edition. Um, but I think only about 100 or 200 were pressed up, and they were all sold through Facebook.
Yeah.
But yeah, the album sounds pretty good, and yeah, I enjoyed doing the Cobras. It was nice.
Yeah.
We played a lot of club called Bingwalls in Camden Town in London. We used to do Friday or Saturday nights, when everyone was out for a good time. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I'll have to write Dave and tell him to watch this once I post it, and tell him.
Yeah, indeed.
Dave. Yeah. Interesting. I've only done a very few Australian interviews because of the
Yeah,
time difference. It's
yeah,
it's about 15 to 17 hours difference depending on
sure.
where they are. So it's like you
Yeah,
really have to figure, okay, my evening, their next morning, that kind of thing
yeah.
is really the best time, to do that. So right.
Yeah,
Well,
no, you got to think it correctly, otherwise,
yeah, and you
there's a
have to be good
problem.
at math to figure that out. Well, at least with us, it's like 6 hours is not that bad, But
Sure,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
we can manage it.
who was the enemy within? Not the literal enemy within, but the band. Who
Yeah,
was the band?
the enemy within
Yeah.
is another friend of mine
Mhm.
called Laurie Gain. His name's quite similar to mine.
Yes.
Laurie Garman, Laurie
Yeah.
Gain, and he did a couple of these albums around about 81, 82, and he got some different people to play on them, and I'm playing on bits of them, and yeah, it's a kind of it sounds a bit like sort of Captain Beefheart or
Oh,
something. It's kind
okay.
of very gruff,
Okay.
sort of beat
Okay.
with a kind of bit of sort of
Ah,
art school variation on it.
okay. Let me ask you, were you a Captain Beefheart or Frank Zappa fan?
No, but the Laurie Gain, who I just mentioned, the guy who did the albums, he was
Yes.
a huge fan of both, and you
Okay.
could hear it on the albums.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I've heard stories about how influential those guys were. Yeah.
yeah,
And
he knew Captain Beefheart. He was in touch with him, I think, through the art world
yeah.
because I think Captain Beefheart was an artist,
Yes. Yes.
and Laurie, the guy I'm talking about, he was a lecturer at the Royal College of Art. So I think there was a kind of commonality there. I
Um,
think they corresponded or something.
oh, okay. They had that in common. Talk about
Yeah,
art
yeah,
as well. Wow.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. And a couple albums in the '80s with The Enemy Within.
yeah.
And wow. Are any of those guys still performing or in bands or anything?
Well, Laurie Gaines, yeah, he's about 82 now, but he still does gigs up in on the Isle of Anglesey, North Wales, where I'm going up to visit them next week. So he's still active, yeah.
I bet that's some pretty country there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's very invigorating to get up there, I love it.
Yeah. I have on one side of my family Scottish, and I keep
Okay,
saying I've never been to Scotland, but I keep saying I got to go over there,
you
and
should go.
and search my
Go to the
roots.
Highlands. Go
There
to the
you go.
Highlands.
That's what I want to do. I got to visit that. I got to visit
Yeah,
before I scoot off this mortal
yeah,
coil.
that's right. You'll love it.
Well, uh, you began playing with the Yardbirds in what, 94? Was that
Yeah,
right?
94. Well, what happened? I have to say that this was like a reformed version of the Yardbirds
Yes.
because their sort of heyday was in the mid 60s.
Yeah.
And I think they broke up in 68 around about that time. And I was playing with a couple of them in a band, a place called Bob's Good Time,. And they got an offer, to go and do a festival in Germany, and they
Yeah.
asked me to go and do it. Now, I think what actually happened there, they didn't want to be the Yardbirds at all. But once they started doing a couple of shows, the agents started billing them as the Yardbirds, obviously, because it would sell more tickets.
Yeah.
So I think they just acquiesced and surrendered to this fait accompli. But
Yeah.
before they knew it, they were the Yardbirds.
Yeah. Jim and Chris were still with them
Yeah,
originally.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chris has
Yeah.
died now.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, Jim was
Yes.
with them, and I did do some kind of reunion show with them a couple of years ago. So I think they're still kind of going. Yeah.
Did you see my interview with Jim McCarty?
No.
Okay, I'll
Uh,
send you that. I'll send you that one as well.
okay.
Yeah, he was one
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was really surprised he was open to doing an interview. He's one of.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I know. You
Yeah.
never know. Some of these
Yeah.
guys are really down to earth. The
Yeah.
success hasn't gone to their heads. Some of these guys.
Yeah.
So so I've got a few of those. They're kind of sprinkled in there. Well, and then yeah, you talked about that the Blues Fest Leverkusen. With
Oh, yeah. Leverkusen. Yeah, that was a
Leverkusen.
festival I played at in '97
Yeah.
with Yardbirds, and there's a bootleg album of it.
Ah,
And I think that's on YouTube as well. There used to be a video of the whole bloody show
oh,
on YouTube. I'm not sure if that's still
right,
there anymore. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It was recorded. Yeah, bootleg. Yeah. I don't know.
It
I'll have
was
to check.
recorded. Yeah, it was recorded in high quality. There was like a mobile studio
Yeah.
there recording it. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a decent sounding album.
Yeah. I'll have to check. I'll have to see if that's still up there too as well. Well,
Yeah.
who was Jeremiah? How do you pronounce his last name?
No, yeah. Well,
Mark.
Jeremiah was a great. He's a good friend of mine. Everyone thought he was Jamaican, but he wasn't Jamaican. He was from Guyana, from the northern part of South America,
Yeah.
and he was Rastafarian, and he was a great blues singer, a great performer. And I worked with him for many years, starting in around the year 2000. And we got an album out called Winning Hand, Jeremiah Marks and the Blue Aces. And it's
Yes.
on YouTube, and it's a great album. And it really reflects what a terrific singer and artist he was. Um, we did hundreds and hundreds of gigs, and we were always getting booked up, and everybody thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a band of two. Unfortunately, he became sick with cancer, and
Yeah.
you know,
He passed
came
in
to an end. Yeah,
2017. I think is when he passed.
yeah, 2017,
Yeah.
and he was performing till the end. I used to take him
But
in my car, and but he was very proud. And
yeah.
he sang till he couldn't sing anymore. Yeah,
Right. That's what I enjoy about doing these interviews too. I learn about so many bands and
yeah,
artists that
yeah,
I was unaware of. Uh,
yeah,
doing these. So get turned on to a lot of artists.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Uh, and again, one more blues artist, I guess. Mark Olbrich.
The market. I mean, I'm like the prophet of doom here because Mark died as well, and he wasn't even old. He was a great guy. He
Yeah.
was a kind of half Czech, half Polish. He was a bass player, and he put the band together. We used to tour a lot in Poland and various parts of Eastern Europe. Uh, the lead singer was my friend Eddie Angel, who's a great guitar player and vocalist. So Mark's band was called Blues Eternity, and we had another vocalist, Jimmy Thomas, who has also died, but he was quite old, and he used to be with the Argentina Turner Review.
Oh, is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, you might Google it. Put in Jimmy Thomas, Argentina Turner. He
Yeah.
was he was in the Argentina Turner band before Tina.
Yeah, yeah. We,
You see a video of him from the 60s TV shows and he's there with them.
you know who also was in that review? A backup singer, P. Arnold, was was
Yes,
was
she
a
came
backup.
to, yeah,
Yeah,
she came to Jimmy Thomas's funeral.
yeah,
Um,
yes,
and she sang. She sounded
yes,
great. Sang in the chapel. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. She relocated to the UK, but yeah, she was originally
yeah.
part of that review. The I Can
She
Tina
was.
Turner. Yeah,
She
yeah,
was. Yes, that's quite true.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, you mentioned you played on a couple of albums with Mark as part of
Yeah,
Bluesy.
yeah, yeah. Um, Playing with him was a great experience, and it's great. And the albums, I wouldn't say that my necessarily the favourites of the albums that I played on. Um, but I think they did quite well. And one of them that came out, I think we did two legitimate ones, and one was the kind of bootleg, um, which I wasn't too happy with. But yeah, I've got very good memories of being with Blues Eternity.
Yeah, yes. I was looking at that real quick. Blues, yes. Was that the one mentioned here? Here's that. I'll edit this part out.
Yeah.
Yeah, John. Let's see. He was Johnny Coppin. Oh no, I was thinking. Did you mention Johnny Coppin earlier? Johnny Coppin? No, or
No,
Crippen.
I listened to Griffin, who was
Crippen. Okay,
the
I got.
guitarist with the Count Visions.
Yes, I got him confused with this Johnny Coppin. He's a different guy.
Yeah, I think to find the band that we're talking about at the moment, you need to put in Mark Olbrich's Blues Eternity, and
Yeah.
you'll get plenty of results.
Yes, that's it. That's it. I was that just rang a bell, and I was looking back at somebody else. He was totally in a different band. Yeah, Mark. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. We'll get us up to date. What's been happening more recently? You said you're playing with a couple of bands now.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just going to see if I can find that. Excuse me, moving away. I'm just looking to see if I've got here somewhere. You can
Sure.
see this. This is a new album by a guy that
To the right a little bit.
to my right.
Yeah.
Yeah, got
Yes.
it.
To your right. To your right. Okay. Tales from the City. Mazza.
Yeah, it's pronounced Matza.
Matza.
The guy's name who you see on the cover is David Mazzattini, and
Okay.
he's a great guitar player, singer, songwriter. So if you put this Mazza into YouTube, a lot of the songs are up there with video and stuff,
Oh.
which is really cool.
Oh. Okay. Show
So
the back. Show the back of it too.
yeah, let me show you the back of it.
Yeah.
The back is a bit blurry. You're not going to see.
Oh.
It's hard for you
Oh.
to see
Okay.
it.
Oh, and
And
then
then
open
I
it
guess
up.
you
Open
see
it up.
this.
Mass. Oh, okay. All right. Well, how did you guys meet?
He was running a jam in Camden Town, um, which I went down to hang out, and I could tell, he was a great guitar player, great guy. We got friendly, and then when he started, he was playing with different bands, and when he started his band, he asked me to play with him. So I've been doing that, and really enjoying it.
Really? Had he heard any
Yeah,
of your material from years ago? Had been following you?
yeah, I bored him to death with
You
the
bored
backstory. But if you want to find his stuff on YouTube, because the name Matza won't necessarily get you there. But if you put in Matza, Mazza, My Babe, that will take you to one of the videos, and then the rest will be linked to that.
Okay, okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I see that. All right. Wow. All right. How old of a guy is he? He's kind of young, isn't
He's not young; he's a skinny cat, but I think he's moving towards 40.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, not
Yeah,
not not a spring chicken, but he's he's
yeah, yeah.
well, okay. And then who else was? Is there another band that you're
There's another
affiliated
band
with?
I'm playing with on the weekend, and they're called the David Sinclair Four. And it's sometimes abbreviated to DS4. But
Okay.
if you put in DS4 or David Sinclair 4, you should get the result. And I've put it on a couple of their albums, and I've been playing with them for quite a few years, doing shows with them. And they're a great band. it's not a blues band, it's a singer-songwriter band. But a lot of the material is like rock and roll or blues flavours.
Blues
So,
based. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And you're playing a lot of live shows, live gigs.
yeah. We're doing one on Sunday. Um, we're doing the 100 Club in London early next year. Yeah, fairly good trickle of gigs with them, which is also very enjoyable.
Yeah, yes, it is. Making that contact connection with the audience, Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a great club in London called Ain't Nothing But the Blues, which is a funky club in Soho. And I've been playing there for more than 25 years, about 28 years. And the great thing about it is it attracts a young crowd of people
Yeah.
um, who are up for a good time and they want to hear blues music.
Yeah.
And I play there very regularly with Matt, the Italian guy,
Okay.
and we're going to be playing that regularly all through
Yeah.
26.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's nice thing. You kind of bridging that generation gap too, with the
yeah.
younger people,
I like playing to young audiences.
Yeah.
And if you look at videos of blues artists here or in the USA, live shows, you'll see that they must be playing to a kind of older demographic.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so I think playing to young people is the bigger kick.
Yeah. A lot of younger people because I'm not real keen on the new music today. That's why I still
No,
listen to the older music. I don't think there's a lot of quality in it, but so I think a lot of the younger fans they know good music when they hear it, and they go back to the older music, the '60s, '70s, '80s,
so
like that. Listen to that. But
who are
that
your favourite bands?
I'm sorry.
Who are your favourite bands? Who do you,
Oh, I have so many. It's hard.
yeah,
I couldn't like pinpoint one particular one, but it's
yeah.
definitely from that probably the '70s or '80s, probably that period.
Okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. I have so many that I've been collecting it. You can see around me. You can see my vinyl, and I've got
Yeah,
like
right,
probably 5 or 6 times that in CDs. So yeah,
yeah,
I've got lots. What pretty
right.
wide taste as well. So
Excellent.
yeah, yeah, just a music fan. Just a music.
Best
Uh,
way to be.
yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. Well, can you think of anything else and kind of coming to a close, Lawrence? That
No, I think you checked out the background, but I'm very impressed. I think there are people I played with that have been mentioned, but I think you've covered like 98% of the bases. So you've
okay.
got pretty much the whole picture.
Oh, okay. So I can pat myself on the back,
Absolutely, absolutely.
huh? Yeah, since you can't do it, since all right. Well, okay. Well, I want to thank you again. It's been very enjoyable. It's always fun doing these, for me.
It's my pleasure, Greg.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's just I started doing like originally written interviews, and
Yeah,
through the internet and then somebody said how about a video interview and I was like really nervous just even thinking about it like I don't know, can I put my face out there on the
yeah,
internet? Everybody's going to see me, they're going to see
yeah.
all my mistakes, and I said I don't know, but I went ahead and did it, and the more I did it, the more I got into it, talked, it's easier, it becomes easier, the next interview is easy,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So the more I did it, it became more relaxed, But it's more of the moment, It's kind of spontaneous. It's like
Yeah,
just having a conversation,
yeah,
Uh,
that's something you can get some anecdotes going. It's
yeah.
cool.
So that's what and I appreciate you doing that, taking that leap of faith, as I said before, and being up for doing this because
Cool.
you
It's been
you are
fun. It's
you
been
are in
fun.
the minority. Let me just say
Excellent.
that. Oh,
Excellent.
All right. Well, I've got a note. I'll send you Dave's interview so you check that out, and maybe Jim McCarty if you're up for it when you have time. When you have time,
Oh,
and I want again all the best to you. And you're
thank
playing
you.
again. You
Thank
said
you. Yeah.
Sunday. You got a
What
gig
time have
Sunday.
you got there? What time is it in your day now?
Oh, what time is it? It's about 10 after 11 in the morning.
Okay, we got most of the day ahead of you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I'm off out now to another sort of family meal. Um,
That's right. It's like when I catch you guys, it's late afternoon or early afternoon, and it's my morning. So that's usually a good time. Usually a good time for both of
so,
us. All right. Again, all the best to you, and do if you think about it, send me any updates or any
sure,
if you do any recordings or if you that you'd like to.
sure,
That's through the internet or I mean through email, things like that.
sure, I will.
But just let me
Yeah,
know how things are going with you. Yeah.
will do for sure.
All right. All right.
Thanks again.
You're very welcome. And I'll say bye for now, but not forever. Okay. All right.
You
All
got
right.
it.
All right.